Let me take a look. Help yourself. So welcome back to another video. I have teamed up with HanSport, who's back after 10 years, and we have finally finished this amazing, full genuine Group B Audi Quattro. So let's dive in and let's show you all the technical information of this beautiful car. Me and Mr. Hanlon going out for a little test drive in the A2 Group B Audi Quattro. This is awesome. Now, the history of this car is, so this started its life as a Group 4 car and was rallied from new in the Middle East. So this has always in its life been a rally car. Basically, we have taken this from Group 4 specification all the way up to Group B specification. HanSport, you can see there, after 10 years of being tucked away, John has come back, teamed up with a small group, which includes myself, and we have built this beautiful creation. Let me show you some details of what makes a Group B Audi a Group B Audi. All genuine parts, so we've got even down to genuine discs, genuine bells, all genuine carbon Kevlar panels, front and rear. So round the back we've got obviously Kevlar bumpers, Kevlar boot, Kevlar spoiler, and this giant oil cooler. Oil comes from the engine down the side of the car, which I'll point out, and goes up into this oil cooler on the rear. Going around the front looks amazing. That says Walter and that says Wright, because these were off Walter Roll's car. John, who runs HanSport, who owns this car, has spent his whole life collecting the original parts from all the Group B cars. So now with the bonnet open, let's have a look at this masterpiece. Don't know the horsepower, we will put it on the dyno eventually because it'd be super interesting to see. So is this the ultimate late night lock-in or what? We had obviously had engine tuners, thankfully opened up for us late at night. They're going to put the Group B Audi Quattro on the dyno. So let me tell you some of the history of this. After the Group B Audi kind of got banned, what happened was the engines were still used for racing and were still being rebuilt by the Audi Sport people called Lehman. So this engine came out of the Seat Toledo Marathon. This is the championship engine out of that car. So this is not been rebuilt by someone. This is how it should have been and is from Audi Sport. Literally just seen 300 horsepower at 1 bar to boost. Group B cars, there's a knob on the dash which you can basically turn to increase boost. We're going to have a go. It's basically looking over the vacuum piping system for the gate, because we've tried to adjust the boost and it's not going. So it's either going to be potentially a vacuum problem, which I don't really see. Or the original, because obviously you got to think of its 40-year-old diaphragm inside the boost controller. But let's have a look, let's play. Carbon Kevlar bonnet. This here runs the 10 valve engine. Now when I first started with helping John with this build, I was always a 20 valve fan, but I'll tell you now, when this thing is screaming and revved up to the maximum, this 10 valve sounds far better than a 20 valve. We have this thing and this thing. That's called the Saxomat. That was, in the early days, the way to flat shift. You press a button on the gear stick and it will pull the pedal in hydraulically, so you can literally change gear without using the clutch. Lightweight doors, giant door pocket for obviously your bits and pieces. Original carbon Kevlar seats. Yes, they are out of date, unfortunately, but with this being a Group B car, how this works is it's not allowed to compete in a timed event. It has to do demos because aluminium roll cages were banned for some strange reason. And all the research I've done, I can see no one has ever been injured by an aluminium cage, so they all changed to steel. So when I was talking earlier on about the Saxomat, that there is the mounting point for the Saxomat system with a hydraulic button which is on the stick. So as you'd press that, the pedal would shoot in and you could flat shift and change gear. The reason why we've not put it in, from research, some people have been injured by this because of basically how vicious it is. So then you've got little details like these bolts here, there's two sets. They are gearbox mounts. Now, one set's for a long, one set's for a short. Throttle stops, an original Stig Blomqvist driven steering wheel. We have had to remanufacture and laser the dash, but it does have all the genuine clocks from the period. We've just basically remanufactured the aluminium. It's got the Halda computer. Other little things in here. Obviously, modern fire system, because obviously, let's just be safe. They run 2 Motronic ECUs. The reason for the 2 is, again, if you break down on stage, you've always got a spare. This knob, this is to turn the boost up. Simply because if you're on a stage, you need a bit more, you feel you can go a bit quicker, you wind the boost in. This beautiful, again, I keep saying it, original from back in the day, gear selector. All factory, all on these little helicopter joints. Original sun visors from Matter. You'll see the Matter logo stamped on them. That's how you know the parts are original. Just see there the air ducts for the diff and for the brakes. This car is absolutely built to perfection. That there is a carbon Kevlar screen wash bottle. Now, if that doesn't show you how much detail they went into, and if you look just above there, I don't know if you can just see it, that's the screen wash pump on a carbon Kevlar bracket. This thing that Audi and Schmidt Motorsport made and now HanSport has perfected is an absolute work of art. These side ducts, which what these ducts do is the bottom one feeds the rear brakes, the top one feeds the top of the rear diff to cool that, because obviously these cars back in the day were under so much stress. So the car runs magnesium 16-inch Speedline wheels. These are super rare. And as you can see, this beautiful full Kevlar boot lid. This is the all cooler lines, and the S1E2s also had a little thermostat section here. There is a lot of differences between the S1E2 than this, but the long wheelbase was far more successful car than the short wheelbase. We've got this giant fuel tank. It's about a 120 litre tank made by Premier Fuel Systems. Premier Fuel Systems were the original builders of the tanks for the Group B cars, and this is basically brand new, because obviously some stuff we need to have in date, and fuel bags go out of date and they do seep. So we've bought one from Premier Fuel Systems. They were the original builders, and this is to original spec how they did it back in the day. A spare wheel, you need one for a rally. This like sight glass so you can see how much fuel's in there. As I said, this is the dry sump tank, so that's where the oil gets pulled to the front. You have an oil filter down in this area, because obviously it goes into the car and goes down to the engine. And then you've got a 3-pump system just here, which again, beautiful piece of work. And to go to so much detail of what they did was, if you look, even you can just see there, even the mounts for the filters were Kevlar. Amazing. John being a perfectionist and wanting these cars to be how they were from factory, we have had to clean, tidy and sort out, even down to Jubilee clips. If you look at that, that there is a Norma Jubilee clip. That there is what the factory cars used. So we had to go through all John's parts, clean them, find them, even down to some specialist nuts and bolts. Rather than machine new ones, he wanted originality. That's the attention to detail that this car has got, that it is all original. If you look at the background, we are in Portugal. The car has already done an event. It's already done Western Park, which will come after this video. And behind the wheel, we had the legend Stig Blomqvist. We had him over to test drive, to shake down the car which made him famous. And to be fair, a lot of the parts were off his original car. Look out for that coming in the future. HanSport and myself teamed up. We're going to do some amazing content in the future, and one thing that will come, which is an amazing car because HanSport has some beautiful vehicles in the workshop, is the IMSA S4 GTO, the Rothmans car. That is going to be one to watch. I want to say thank you for you guys for all watching, because it's allowing me to live out my dream and share it on my channel for everyone to see. So thanks guys, and I'll see everyone on the next video.